Welcome back to my continuing video series on Is It Time to Make a Change? Many of my clients are interested in making a move from one house to the other, and yet that task can feel sometimes just overwhelming. For that reason, sometimes people will just settle where they are rather than move to where they want to be because they've just kind of kicked the can down the road a few too many years, and maybe they're just at that point a little bit too tired to make the move. We want to go ahead and find some ways to be able to help people through this process. And it may be a process of moving from a two-story home to a one-story home, maybe a process of moving from a larger home to a smaller home, perhaps moving out of state to be in an area where retirement costs are a little bit, to live on retirement, is a little bit less expensive and maybe perhaps closer to the children or grandchildren. Lots of reasons for a move. There's a wonderful retirement community coming in San Juan Capistrano. So today we have with us Greg Gunderson.
Yes.
Greg is with Gentle Transitions, fabulous what we call a white glove moving company. And they basically take all of the angst out of a move.
Yes,
Am I correct?
I like to think so.
So we pay for our angst to be taken out. Interesting, Greg, statistics show us that 23 years is the average amount of time that most people stay in their home. And that tells me that is 23 years of accumulated Christmas ornaments, accumulated your children's things that they don't take with them when they move out of the house and get married or move on their own, right? Just take your baseball card collection with you. 23 years of memories that you have collected, and with that 23 years of stuff. And on top of that, most people in California cannot put both cars in the garage. Usually one car garage is filled with stuff, and like you always tell me, the $30,000 car is sitting out getting exposure to the elements. So what can you tell us? What is the first step when somebody hires a company like yours?
Right.
What is the first step that you do to eliminate this angst?
Yeah, well, Karen, I do come across a lot of people who've been in a home for 23 years and many, many, many more. And most are moving to smaller places. And most are challenged by the Christmas ornaments and all of that stuff. And now the challenge, and they are going to a smaller place.
Okay.
So my big rule of thumb is for people to identify what's moving and what's not.
Okay.
And most people actually are surprised to do all the obvious things first, to do the easy decision making first. I know these things are moving, I know these things are not moving. And they'll find that in the end, the questionable stuff is a much smaller group than they originally think that it will be.
Interesting. Okay, so there you go right there, getting it down to just the questionable things and dealing with the obvious first. So that feels like a win right away.
I like to think so.
Okay.
Another suggestion I have, and something we do with our clients, is that we do all that decision making separate from any kind of packing. So maybe you decide this clump of things will go to charity. Don't put it into boxes for charity yet. Just make those decisions and then do the physical part later. We use little colored stickers. Post-it notes work really well also.
Okay.
And you can use those, say, new place, charity, and so on. Separate the decision making from the actual packing of things, because that messes up the decision making, and you'll feel a lot better having those decisions made.
Well, wonderful. So even for the average Joe, like all of us, who need to purge from time to time, I hear the value of the color stickers, just going ahead and acknowledging which items are going to go and which items are going to stay, and perhaps which items can just be trashed. Now, you have a moving manager that actually meets with person first time out and kind of establishes a plan. Can you tell us a little bit about the moving manager program?
So my company, we consider ourselves senior relocation specialists, and we're actually not movers at all.
Okay.
We do all the things around the moving, and we do assign, we call it a move manager, to work with the client, do a floor plan of the new place, measure the furniture, measure the new place, talk about what's practical, what's sentimental, what's both, what's neither. And then our move manager then also works with our client to do that decision making ahead of the move, so that when it comes time for the move, the decisions are done, and then it's just a physical process. And companies like ours will then also do the packing that needs to be done, make arrangements with the mover, work side by side with the mover, and then on moving day, be there to make the beds, hang the pictures, unpack all the boxes.
So it sounds like for once in your life you get to hire either a personal assistant or a butler to
Yes.
take you from A to B.
Yes, all of that and more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much for being here today and for being able to share a little bit with my clients.
Great.
Please mark your calendars, February 27th, my office, 7 o'clock. I'm going to be having a workshop for all things related to this, and one of the representatives from Greg's company will be here to answer all of your questions. See you soon.